Senator Moody.
Thank you, Chairman Cassidy, for convening this important hearing. As one of only a few mothers of school-aged children in the Senate, the safety and well-being of women and children is very important to me. I was disheartened to hear after the brave story of my colleague sharing that he was indeed adopted and that his birth mother was pressured to get an abortion and she bravely refused and carried him to term and gave him up for adoption, that was referred to as gaslighting. It's very hard for me also to sit here as someone who has been in the legal world and seen the horrific stories that have come to light about coercive abortions, that is gaslighting. I would ask my colleagues on the other side of the aisle to refrain from using that language because there have been very serious incidents where women and their children were harmed, and that is not gaslighting, that is fact. And I'm also disheartened that we heard, as we bring up the instance of men or even some women crushing up these abortion drugs and giving them to people surreptitiously in order to end a life, that we should tolerate this new trend in crime, in murder, because, as one of my Democratic colleagues just put it after referring to these instances as gaslighting, because, and I'm quoting my Democratic colleague, coercion of abortions is long-standing part of human history. That is unacceptable. And in fact, when I was Attorney General in Florida, just a year or so ago, a woman in Florida got an abortion drug from out of state as part of a plot to kill her ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend's child in the womb. I mean, this stuff isn't made up. When I was a judge in Florida, back before I was the Attorney General, in my hometown, a guy got an abortion drug, put a different label on the bottle, labeled it as an antibiotic, and gave it to his former girlfriend and said, "You need to take this." And she did. And she had to testify at trial with a picture of a sonogram of that child. This is not gaslighting, this is happening. And as states are trying after Dobbs to come up with, as a people, what their laws are going to be, we here in Washington have to make sure that those laws that they come up with to prevent this kind of thing, to protect their people, are not circumvented. Ms. Verma, can men get pregnant?
Dr. Verma,
Yes.
I just want to make sure we're all
Dr. Verma,
addressing
can
each
men
other
get
with
pregnant?
respect.
As a doctor, give me your opinion. As a doctor, can men get pregnant?
I mean,
I'll move on to the next one. Doctor, can men get pregnant?
No.
I know you're a lawyer, an AG, like I was an AG. Can men get pregnant?
No.
Is there any reason why men should get their hands on the abortion drug?
None.
And are they getting their hands on an abortion drugs?
They are.
And are they getting them through the mail across state lines?
They are.
Even when it is illegal and the people have decided within states that they want to prevent that?
They are, and I would just add that that is because there is a concerted effort to prevent any accountability and any human contact. So they go to anybody who asks for them. They do not identify now in many states the prescriber, the pharmacy, or the recipient. And so this is very dangerous. It is by design created that way in order to circumvent Dobbs.
Is it easy for men to get abortion drugs across state lines?
Extraordinarily.
In fact, I had staff members who said, "My name is Michael, how do I get abortion drugs?" Would it surprise you to know that there are all kinds of organizations ready to satisfy that whim of a man to get abortion drugs?
Sadly, it does not surprise me.
And not just in your, I know from working with you as fellow attorneys general, I know that you value life and you want to protect life and you're doing everything you can to do that. But in your role as a prosecutor that is protecting people and is meant to, and it is your job to enforce the people's laws to protect people, are men getting these drugs and using them to surreptitiously end life in their girlfriends, wives, lovers, etc.?
They are men and in some times parents and women. And in two of the cases that we are in fact prosecuting, shield laws are blocking our ability to do that. And I cannot understand why any governor would refuse our extradition papers so that we can prosecute someone who coerced their child to have an abortion.
Chairman Cassidy, I see my time has expired. I appreciate you for facing this issue head on. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Senator Moody.